two, one.
Yes, I can hear it when it happens. True. Hi, Gobi. This is me.
This is
World tour.
this is me.
He said, dum dum. He's like ready. He's ready for you. There's always somebody awake, so that's what that
No
is.
doubt, no doubt.
Now he's ready. Now that we're recording, he's like ready. He's
He's
got
up, right?
commentaries,
Yeah.
the code words. He's about to do the thing you do from the pulpit where you be like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
double down."
All right. Love it.
How
Love it. Love it.
did it go? I know that a lot of things happen in the tour
Hmm.
that we expect to happen. But
Hmm.
what I really want to know is
Yeah.
like what happened that was surprising and wild because obviously you don't need an introduction.
Sure.
But if somebody were to introduce you, so tell us how it went.
It was incredible. If, as a man of no introduction, I need to not say, but I'm Chu Hagobi, your player partner, coming to you live from the East Coast, back for another one. It was an incredible experience. I think for me to be able to see, to be honest, to meet a variety of different people, like I met more people than I thought I was going to meet, at least for the first leg, and people were so warm and welcoming that I felt as though it was ironic because it's like people aren't even this nice at home. So, to meet other people of color on the road is fantastic, and it was an incredible experience.
Where did you go so
So,
far?
so far we've been to the Bronx. That was our first stop. And then we have seen Buffalo as well as Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
Ohio. Yeah,
Ohio.
the purple state. That's a
Yeah,
there. That's
that was fun.
exciting. Did
Very fun.
anything happen that was like typical or customary for a tour? But a lot of times people who aren't in the industry won't know that those things are normal
Mhm.
for you. Did anything happen that was like on the nose?
This was the first time I went out, so to be honest, I had no expectations. I didn't know what was to be, what to expect, what to look forward to. I literally was just like, okay, let's go and see what's up. So I think as though it happened the way, I guess I should say it didn't happen in the way that I was expecting because even in my setting up and my prayers, I was like, I'm gonna be insanely rich before I go on the tour, so that way I can be, and but sometimes life doesn't happen that way, and then things just become available to you immediately, and you must take those opportunities in order to grow.
Yeah, that's kind of how wealth works anyway. It's
Yeah,
connections, a
yeah.
handshake.
Exactly, exactly. So I was laughing. I said like the only reason why I came back was because I can't legally like work there. So like money was running out. So I said, okay, let me just come home so at least I can like stay in a house. But I said to myself, okay, when I tap in with some players or some hustlers out there that get money, and then I don't need to, because I can be my whole thing is like I'm not trying to be like an employee. I don't want to like go there and like get a job, but like I can be a business consultant, you know what I'm saying? And then like make money that way and pay my taxes. So yeah. Yeah. I hope that answers the question. I think I was
It
rambling.
does. That's exciting, and you can do that here. There's a lot of ways to consult here. It's
Hmm.
not a big deal. In fact, Fat I think is having an opening now, and he's one
Hmm.
of our mutual friends. I
Yep.
am Fat Boy. He has an
True.
opening now for commissions, and so
Hmm.
I don't know where
Hmm.
he's located, but there's definitely collabo
Yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah.
There's like spots where you can stop. Along the way. There's a lot of really cool joints on the East Coast. I don't know if Ohio
Hmm.
has cool stuff like that, but
Hey, I didn't
um,
say nothing about Ohio because I got a lot of friends out there.
no, I actually really like Ohio. In
For
fact,
sure. For sure.
Akron has some pretty cool stuff. And that library that I sent you with the recording studio,
Yep.
that
Yep.
was in a town that's not really popular, but they got this
Mhm.
like badass equipment in
For
this
sure.
library. So
For sure. For sure.
there's opportunity everywhere for you. What made you
Hmm.
for this album?
Pardon me?
What made you want to do a tour for this album, for the This Is Me
Oh
album?
man, this is me. This is me. The whole premise behind the entire idea of the project and the magazine and all these premises is that like you guys are seeing me. Finally, you're seeing me. Before we were experiencing before I was what I was often referred to. I say I feel as though I was living someone else's life, but now I've like decided, or I've started to see things from my own perspective, and then as a result, I'm like traveling the world to show people this is me. Get it as as you see fit. So yeah.
Yeah, and the album itself is different from the other ones. The This Is Me album is different. It
Hmm.
is way more eclectic. It has a
Hmm.
lot more like flavor in your ear, and I can
Hmm.
tell that you have some in that album. You have some like some of your preferences are starting to jump out a little bit more. You're not
Hmm.
necessarily
Hmm.
playing with stuff
Hmm.
that you're not playing with a whole bunch of things. You're having like this you're having an experience in the album and that
Absolutely.
you can feel.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's cool that you did that for this one. And you could have done it for the others, but I don't think it would have felt as
Hmm.
um like exciting for
I
you. So
agree.
that's cool.
I agree. Yeah.
That's
It's
cool.
literally me. This is me.
That's exciting. That's exciting. I'm glad we got on to talk about it so you can process it. I don't know if you have processed some of the things that you, one of the things you also told me when you came back was you felt like, well, you've always said you feel like a global citizen. You always
Hmm.
said that. But
Hmm.
you said something like you felt like when you came back,
When
you
I came
felt
back, I felt small.
like
Yeah.
sunken or smaller or
Hmm.
whichever like this. And so
Absolutely.
I like the psychological parallel to the tour.
Hmm.
The other thing that jumps out to me about this tour is the conversations we've been having about the politics and the way that the world seems to flow in one direction in
Hmm.
mass, and how
Hmm.
some people tend to go against the stream somehow.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, like, how does the tour and the album and where you're sitting as a content creator, a
Hmm.
musician, an artist, a business, and an entity
Right.
a lot like put have you going in the opposite direction into a country that just might be, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
you are like
Hmm.
casually, calmly taking a world tour
Hmm.
in a time when the world might be on fire.
For
How does that
sure.
feel for you? How does that feel for you?
It feels to me that it's the right time. I only have one life to live. You know what I'm saying? So I can't afford to waste this time, these beautiful years, being like, oh, well, like maybe I might go and like, hey, whatever will be, will be. I'm not afraid of anybody in this realm. So like as I've continued to expand, it's like we have to go. I owe it to myself. I owe it to people that want to meet me, that want to speak on these topics, to be out there and to be available for, to talk and to discuss and to just be a part of something greater than myself.
I dig it. I dig it. So
Mhm.
does that mean something else has come up on the tour so far?
What do you mean?
Other than just here's my music, come listen to my music, have some
Oh
other
yeah,
conversations.
honestly, the whole idea of the tour is a collection of everything that I'm working on.
Okay.
So yeah, do we need to take a break?
Yes, give me in one
Of
second.
course, of course, of course, of course.
Here I come. Here I come.
She's out.
True.
Hey,
I'm excited for you. I'm
thanks,
excited for you.
thanks.
The next tour is going to be even better since this was um like a surprise for you. You didn't get to plan as much.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, I'm excited for you. What do you see next?
I see another leg coming up very soon, and I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to do because essentially, as I speak on all these things before they happen, so when they happen, people can begin to believe. So next step or the next part, I want to go to Detroit, I want to go to Virginia, I want to go to Miami, and I want to go to Texas. So those are the four places that I'm thinking about for the next leg of the tour. But at the same time, I'm also thinking about just remaining in Canada for at least another little bit just while we wait for some things to materialize, only because that conversion of like 1.5, it's like double, almost, it's a one and a half, it cost me to get down there. So in my head, I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, well, I still had plans to visit Alberta as well as British Columbia on the Canadian side of the tour. So it's like, might as well see those places first, perhaps. or we can just go to the States and then come back and still see them. That's kind of what I see next, what I'm working towards. But still just maintaining all the things that we're working on now and getting into a position where I can finally like hire some people to help me with all this stuff. That's pretty much where I'm heading, you know?
So you need like a VA, or what do you need?
Yeah, I need a VA. I need a VA. I need an editor. I need social media personalities, you know? Because like my whole thing is always like to put this analogy, it's like I feel as though like a diamond mine, perhaps, right? But it's like, you know, when you pull out a diamond, it's not worth anything until you polish it, until you refine it, until you do all these things. So it's like for me, I'm like, I pull them out, but I just want to pass it back to somebody else in order for them to bring the product up to a particular standard, and then from and then from there, take it
I'm
up.
listening to you, but I just realized what he did. I just realized what he did. I'm listening.
Hilarious, hilarious, hilarious. Always love, always love. And yeah, so that's pretty much like what was I even saying?
Somehow, what he did just woke up his sister, and she realized what he did now. It's a whole thing. I don't know why that woke her up, but she's like, "What?"
Hilarious. He said, "See,
Okay,
you gotta see this. You gotta see this." That's
that's
so
so funny.
funny. That's
Well, I think as far as what's next for you in the tour, I do have your VA for you.
hmm
I don't really remember the name of the company, but
hmm
and then where you go next. One of the things that I like about you is
Yeah.
that you're very. I know. I see. We're gonna go get you some more. Okay, don't worry. Don't worry. We get you some more right now. Okay, you okay? Come right here, with brother. One of the things that I like about you is
Mm.
that you stay really open to a lot of possibilities,
Most
and
definitely.
you get things you get certain things in a certain way that's really different from most people. So it's not going to
hmm
unfold how you're thinking about it in your mind.
hmm
It's gonna be somewhat of a surprise. So
Always,
um,
always. That's what I've noticed even in sorry to interrupt. You finish first and then I'll
no,
jump.
you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. I was gonna say, so when it does, let me
hmm
know because I'm gonna be like, "Hey, I told you."
I told you so. Exactly, exactly. And funnily enough, like that's why I document my journey. That's why I stream all the time. That's why I just turn on the camera and talk because it's like I see the bigger picture. I see the end result. I see the final. You know, I'm just waiting for the 3D world. I always say I'm just waiting for the 3D world in order to catch up to ring true, I guess, the things that I already know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this was fun. I'm glad we tried it. Everybody's awake now.
Everybody's
Okay,
awake
I'm just
now.
gonna say this. I don't want to talk about nobody, but I'm just gonna say this. We got snacks, okay?
Hmm.
Somebody ate their snack. They said, "Can you get me out the car seat?" I said, "Okay."
Mm-mm.
Everybody sleep. You awake. So I got you out the car seat. This 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 prince went and got somebody else's snacks and came on up to the front.
Ah!
And it didn't say nothing. I just hear each just chomping away. And somehow that woke her up.
Mhm.
Somebody else
She
got hers.
knows. She knows.
So we just double back and let's go on to this other store and figure this thing
Oh,
out. It's
yeah.
so funny. I'm excited for you. I think this is a great time to
You.
um get a gauge on how things are going, especially here in the US. And
Hmm.
your perspective is gonna be different from other people, and it's gonna
No.
be really super important that you were here.
Mhm. Mhm.
That
Mhm.
you were here.
Yeah, right? For sure. For sure. You
Do
know,
your thing, true. Can't wait
appreciate
to see
you.
you in the next live.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Can't wait to see you in Texas.
You better stop playing with me. You're gonna have to come see me somewhere else.
Oh, yeah. So wait, are you guys gonna go out of state?
We are gonna something like that.
Hey, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? You
We're
come,
gonna something like that.
let me know if you
And
come into Canada.
I'll just put it like this. It's only a 4 hour flight to where we're going
Of course. Of course.
from here. So it wouldn't be hard for you. You could even drive, but
I
you're
know
gonna
you
have
guys.
to cross, from what I hear, you have to cross through a few portals on the way.
To a few portals. Interesting. I wish to go deeper on this discussion, but if you have to run, please let me know.
Well, we love it. We gonna get some more snacks. We
Yep,
get you some apples and oranges
for
up in
sure.
here.
For sure.
And see you next time. You okay,
Okay.
Lynn?
Appreciate you. Love you guys. See you soon,
You
okay?
as well.
Bye,
It's
everyone.
okay.
So, guys, that was my friend Jennifer. She's from Texas at this time, and we wanted to just speak to create a moment in time in which we were able to share our stories and celebrate the things that we learned from the first leg of the tour. It's your host, Cody G, Chuhagobi, your player partner coming to you live from the East Coast. Until next time, peace.